Hi once again and welcome back. NYthespirit.com. This is our interview channel, and today we have a fantastic person here for you. She is innovative at all times. She never lost that. She's beautiful to see, she's beautiful to talk with, and her music is astounding. Her voice is so wonderful. Please welcome, with me, Carole Pope. Hello, Carole.
Hi, David.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
The funny thing is, we we spent a lot of time together back in Casby days.
We did. Those were the days.
But I have to say, for me, my attraction to you and your music started at the Chimney. Do you remember playing the Chimney?
Yeah, that was hot then, in those days. Yeah, that was an amazing gig, and those were fantastic times in Toronto.
It was an interesting time. There was another club in Toronto. Hang on, I'll check my notes. The Grossman Tavern, did you play there?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a funky hellhole on Spadina, and I don't even know how we started playing there, but Mr. Grossman liked us, and then his wife would freak out every once in a while. She'd be like, "What are they saying about?" Like, what's the Fuhrer about the Fuhrer? You're like, what? But that's where we really developed a following, and like Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner came to see us, and Margaret Trudeau, and it was like kind of insane.
It was a very cool time, there's no question about that. But, like you, I don't like to live in the past. I choose to live in the moment. So let's go back to the first time you and I spent a little bit of time together. We met at an airport in Toronto, and we were to fly to New York to meet with Paul Shaffer. And I had not met you up until that time. I was a fan, and I played all your music.
Uh-huh.
I learned something very quickly. You're very shy.
I don't know if it's shyness per se, but sometimes I just can't be bothered, It's like, do I have to be on all the time?
Well, exactly. That's my point.
It's exhausting.
You and I flew to New York. Mm-hmm. We were in the plane for, an hour? We did not say two words until we reached New York and had landed. And I said something to you like, our limousine is out this way. And the next thing I remember, now my memory is a little short, was you and I heading up to the Waldorf Astoria where we were staying and looking in a drugstore to buy some stuff. And then we were with Paul Shaffer.
I don't remember any of that, but okay.
And so that was the first time I really had a chance to meet with you.
Wow.
The first chance I had to sit down and become friends, as opposed to fans. Now we're somewhere new. You live in LA. Mm-hmm. You used to live in New York.
Yeah.
Which do you like better?
I like the quality of life in LA, but I like, more the scene. There's kind of more interesting people in New York for me. It's easier to be social. LA, like, people will cancel on you in the last minute, but a lot of people from New York are moving to LA now, and it's all trendy, and are getting trendy, and the rents are skyrocketing. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I'm torn between two lovers.
I hear that's the story of your life, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I travel to New York a lot because I'm writing a musical with a couple of people.
Oh, are you? Tell us about that.
I don't know if I want to give the plot away or anything, but I'm actually writing. Rob Pruce is the music director.
Yes.
He used to be in the Spoons, and Kate Rigg is writing the script, and she's a friend of mine who's like multi-talented. and she has a group called Slanty-Eyed Mama.
Slanty-eyed?
Well, she's Asian. It's like she's
Yes.
part Asian, so it's Asian, political Asian hip hop. It's really good. And we've just been workshopping it a little bit. So I do go to New York and as often as I can.
Launching a musical is not a one-day event.
It's been going on for 3 years, so yeah.
It's like making a movie. It's not a one-day event. You've been at it for 3 years?
Yeah.
Is it based in the Anti-Diva?
It's actually, I don't want to give the plot away in case it changes, but it takes place in the 80s and 90s in New York.
That's all you're going to tell us.
And, well, there's like elements of performance art and the club scene and club kids and act up and things like that.
You are an ambassador of the Harvey Milk School in New York. Is that true?
Yeah, but I'm not that involved since I'm not there anymore. But yes, they do amazing work, because a lot of gay, lesbian, transgender, et cetera, all the other initials, youth, when they come out to their parents kick them out. A lot of them are homeless. So this is an amazing high school that these kids get to go to, and it's just a very, very supportive place. And
How would you have gotten involved with such a thing?
actually, a friend of mine hooked me up with them because he was doing PR for them, and then I went and I met the people who run the organization, and I went to the school and met the kids, and they were just so sweet, and they have some pretty high-profile events and to raise money, and it's such a great cause.
Well, you get applause from me for being involved in such a thing.
Well, thank you.
There seems to be a fad now where the vocal person seems to be trying to reach a particular note, but they have to go all around it to find it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Mariah. Let's take Mariah Carey. Who?
Do we have to?
No, but that kind of singing. Like, can you not just sing the note? Can you? I mean, when I hear people do cover tunes, not that I watch American Idol or any of that crap, but that kind of singing where they're like all over the place. I'm like, why can't you just sing it exactly the way it was written? Is that because it's too difficult for you, obviously? So you have to
It seems to be
riff around it.
It seems to me that what has happened is that trying to find the right note thing, I call it, has been interpreted as having soul. And it's just the opposite.
No, it's so not. I mean, Aretha Franklin has soul. Yeah, it's like whitewashed soul. It's not soul. I mean, if you want to hear soul, you'll see Aretha Franklin or
Mavis Staples.
Mavis Staples or Tina Turner or it's just like fake singing, and music is just so insipid now, and everybody's doing the same insipid thing. So
A long time ago, back probably before either you and I were born, there was no echo. And then along came Les Paul and Mary Ford and those others, and they discovered they could put a little echo on the voice and it would sound more live.
yeah,
Today we became so accustomed to the echo on voices that after a couple of decades we didn't notice it, except if it was taken away. I think we have the same problem today with autotune, in that it's going to be so applied to everything. In 5 to 10 years, a vocal won't sound full without autotune.
God, I hope not. I mean, it's just awful. I mean, I can tell when stuff is auto-tuned. I mean, you can either sing or you can't sing. And if you can't sing a song all the way through in a studio without auto-tune, then you're not a musician. You're not a singer. Like, go back to where you came from.
Lesbians in the Forest.
Yes.
Are they there? Did you go to the forest and look?
That song, I wrote that song because I went to the Michigan Women's Festival one year and was inspired to kind of write that, and it's got a little bit of a parody. Sadly, the Michigan Women's Festival is no longer, but it was all women performers in the middle of the forest, and it's just amazing.
Was it really in the forest?
It was it was outside of Hart, Michigan. It was like very freeing to be in a place with no men, except for the guys who emptied, this is my line in the song, except for the guys who empty the Janes. We don't call them Johns. The shit men. They're the only guys who came, and then everybody would go, man on the land. But it was like just an incredibly freeing experience to not feel threatened by men. Like to have, it's just like such a unique thing, and I'm very sad that's not happening anymore.
Tell me about your idea of doing the Lee Hazelwood song again.
Oh,
I know you did it with another woman.
yeah. Well, yeah, this friend of mine and I were just driving around in cars singing songs. We both loved that album with Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood.
Yes.
And we were like, what were they on when they did that album? It's so insane, and the videos are so insane. And that song, Some Velvet Morning, is other people have covered it. A lot of people have covered it, but not two women. So Sarah and I decided to do, the chick version of that song.
Primal Scream is the other cover that I think of. When I first heard it, and the reason I ask you the question, I thought, what were the two of them thinking about? That they said, why don't we do this, Carole? And Carole says, yeah, that's a great idea. What brought that? Something had to bring that through. I was like, wow.
I swear, we were just like riding around in a car and started singing it, and then we're like, this would be, I mean, that's where the idea started, and then I'm like, I really want to put this on my latest EP, because it's music for lesbians, so.
Yes.
So.
You should drive around in that car like karaoke.
Les karaoke. I know, we should do, that would be a great way to do a video for that. Thanks for the idea.
How do you feel about Landfall? Are you proud of that one?
God, yeah, I love
Good.
that album, and not enough people know about it. And if I had the money, which hopefully I will get the money to re-release it on vinyl. And it was so fantastic working on the title song with Rufus Wainwright.
You have Rufus on there. You have Rob Bruce.
Rufus, Rob, co-wrote a song with Hawksley Workman.
That's right.
It's a great album.
Thank you.
And I agree with you. It deserves a lot more attention. Unfortunately, we both know that's not easy.
That people are ageist pigs and the industry is disgusting. But it is a great album.
Yes.
So get it. Get it.
I totally agree with you. I just absolutely agree with you. And we were talking as we came over here today in the car about the fact that there are too many charlatans who are taking advantage of artists and telling artists, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and you're going to be this and you're going to be that, and by the way, I take half of whatever you get. And it's not the artists that are fucking up. I think it's these charlatan people.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's so difficult now to make a living as an artist. I mean, every other day I'm like, what else can I do to make a living? Because it's scary, because people are, ripping off your music, and unless you do live shows and, sell merchandise, then you're pretty much screwed. And then people are trying to exploit writers, certainly for music for film and television. They're not paying as much money. It's like, if I went into your office and stole your work, I mean, just imagine that, you know. I'd be like, I'm going to take everything you're doing and I'm not going to pay you anything for it. Like if people think about it that way, maybe they'll reconsider.
It is difficult, however, for folks to be able to put that frame around it, because music seems to be something that should be free in the way that art is something. I agree with you. Obviously, it's wrong. It's the artist deserves equal pay or better for equal work. The artist deserves respect. The artist deserves to be on stage performing without being hit by a bottle, etc., etc.
Well, I mean, there are some people and promoters who who support artists, but there are a lot of people who are just trying to rip us off. And as I said, it's like so much more difficult to make a living. And if I was a kid in a band today, I don't know. I don't know what I would say to somebody, except go out and perform live as much as possible. And try and build it. I mean, the internet is good in one way because it does help you build a fan base.
Yes. It's the agony and the ecstasy.
Yeah.
I must say that I believe that people who will watch this interview and people who listen to NYthespirit.com, they really do have the respect. They really do want to hear about the music that no one else is playing. They really do want to hear about Landfall. They really do want to hear about Lesbians in the Forest. These are discerning ears. Mm-hmm. And I'm very proud to say that in the same way that back in the day CFNY was for discerning ears, we built the same kind of situation. And I believe those people understand that there should be recognition and equal pay.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, there are some artists, there's some people out there who absolutely understand music and know how difficult, are aware of how difficult it is to make a living and are very supportive of certain artists. But, I don't think the general public gets it. But I mean, CFNY was such an innovative station, and there's nothing like it. And, that's where I learned about music.
Now, folks are going to think I'm really terrible, but I'm going to ask you, tell us about your vagina.
What? Oh, right. Okay, my vagina. A friend of mine did this movie called Who's Afraid of Vagina Wolf? Where she's pretty much dressed like a vagina. And it's based on Virginia Woolf. It's anyway, and I wrote this theme song called Vagina Wolf, and she never used it. And then I'm like, I was very much trying to channel Shirley. I'm very much trying to channel Shirley Bassey in this song, and it's like a James Bond theme, and it's on my EP, Music for Lesbians, and so it's a friend of mine who's a gay porn director in LA, and I went out to downtown LA and got a vagina red curtain, and and my friend Anna, who did the movie, just gave us the whole movie, and we just, I did a performance and we cut in a lot of her movie, and yeah, that's my latest video, Vagina Wolf.
And it can be seen on YouTube right here where we are. In fact, we might even put it at the end of this. How about that?
I hope so.
And is it available on a disc?
No, but it's on YouTube, it's on my website, it's on my band Facebook page.
And your website is?
CarolePope.com. Carole with an E.
Yeah, don't forget the E. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks, David.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's magnificent. Carole Pope.
Vagina Wolf, you're beautiful.